Good evening, guys, and welcome to Thursday Night Racing League. Yes, that is right, it is Thursday. Where has this week gone? How are we doing, ladies and gents? We are here at the beautiful Spa-Francorchamps circuit, just in the Ardennes Forest in Belgium, and I'll tell you what, it's absolutely teeming it down with rain at the moment. And I think the guys are going to be in for probably what looks like wet weather conditions for the race, I believe, as well as qualifying. You join me just with 3 minutes and of course 6 seconds left of free practice before we get into, of course, 10 minutes of qualification. And yes, if you're wondering who it is, of course it is the one and only, of course, the legend that is Hoppers in the commentary box. How are we doing, everyone? How is everyone's week been? You know, it is essentially one of them. I have obviously missed Suzuka 2 weeks ago, and due to the fact is I wasn't here, and I was also celebrating my birthday, so you know, it gives me a good excuse to obviously miss one event. But looking forward to seeing what tonight can bring. If anyone can actually let me know how I actually sound on stream, whether I sound okay or whether things need to be changed, but by all means I'll just double check myself while we're here. By all means yes, I am here, because we do have a comment on stream. Good evening, Nobby. Thank you, mate. Thank you for checking it out. I believe you know, just checking my own voice out on stream as well. Thanks for that, mate. Glad sounds okay as well. You know, it's been a while since I've done commentary. It's just thereabouts. But looking exactly what's happening tonight, then we do have, obviously, like I say, we're here at Spa-Francorchamps for what potentially is originally round number 5 of this season, or is it round number 4? I think I might have misput the title, but nevertheless we did have an hour and 15 minutes race from Silverstone that's yet to be run. I think that's now going to be run at the end of the season. We did have technical difficulties throughout that, but we do have now, yeah, it should be technically round number 5, because you know, within catching up calendar. But looking at Luke Barnard, aka Depressed Squid, he's looking likely. He's setting a pace in free practice at the moment. We're 2 minutes 28.8. I think the wet conditions are helping him out in the Ferrari at the moment. Then you got Stefano Marchetto, the reigning champion of Thursday Night Racing League. Just going to turn my headset down a bit so you guys can still hear me. But he is currently second in the Bentley. He's only 0.018 of a second, so it's at 18th, 10th. Slower than Luke is at the moment in free practice. And then we do have, of course, JMR in the Ferrari. So the Ferraris are looking a bit feisty at the moment. I believe qualifying is 10 minutes long for tonight, and then it is an hour and 15-minute race. I am going to try and do driver interviews tonight as well, for the top 3 as well as the AM class winner. I'm going to try and get the guys in when I can. I believe there is a few people missing tonight, but there's obviously 12 races, which isn't really a problem. It's actually quite a good enough number, but the guys know how things go. Then you've got, of course, Lemos in the Porsche. He's currently 4th fastest. I think when I joined the stream there was a bit of an issue between I think Daz Tintner and as well as Lemos. I think they had a bit of coming together, so the Porsche and Audi driver had a bit of coming together. Then you've got, of course, Alex in the Ferrari. He's obviously seeing what can happen, and then we get obviously straight into, of course, 10 minutes of qualifying. So it's going to be a very interesting qualifying session. It does look like the rain is currently still continuing, so the cars now are going out for excuse me, 10 minutes of qualifying. You got Fred in the McLaren in the Balf Motorsport McLaren, so it's going to be very interesting to see. Then you got, of course, Yuri, the Dutchman, in his Lamborghini. As you can see how wet the track is, the track's actually not as wet as the guys probably imagine, but the rain is teeming down, so it's probably going to be wise that they do have the rain lights on. You can just see certain patches of damp on the circuit, but it's going to be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen. I believe it's going to be wet all the way through as well, so it's going to spice it up for this evening. Don't know much about Spa-Francorchamps. I know it's home of the Belgian Grand Prix, but corner names, some I know and some I don't, so please do bear with me if I don't know the corner names as well. Then you've got, of course, Peter, aka Captain Slow, in the Bentley. We'll just go through the grid while the guys are on their laps, just see what they're doing. And then you've got, of course, John. That is John Knox. It is not Joel. Joel's in the process of moving house, I believe. John actually messaged me before to clarify who was who, so that actually helped me, as he's got a bit of issues there in his McLaren. And you've got, of course, Luke. Luke's looking forward to seeing what he can. I hope Luke does very well tonight in that yellow and, of course, black Ferrari. It's been a bit difficult. I've not seen what's happened at Spa-Francorchamps, not Spa, Suzuka rather, last time out. But I believe it was a bit of a mixture race, but I'll try and find out off the guys later on and give a bit of a feedback about that as well. But we'll see what Luke can do. Then you've got, of course, the famous Lexus RCF, what I claim is an underrated car, but I believe that is JJ Motorsport. Not too sure who he is. He's kind of new to me, so I'll try and figure out who he is as the season goes on. I believe he's going to be back in a couple of weeks' time as well. And of course you've got Chris Allen in the Ferrari, just coming up towards the bus stop chicane now. We'll see how well he can do. Now, of course, Daz Tintner in the Audi, the 13 Audi R8. But yeah, it's good to be back. I'm looking forward to seeing what tonight brings for these guys. You know, it's been a bit of a while since I've commentated. But you got some of the guys going through like La Source and obviously up towards E-Rouge and Radion. Of course up to Le Com. Obviously down the Camel Street, but it's going to be very close to see what tonight actually brings with the wet. Whether it's obviously looking like 6 minutes and 40 seconds left in qualifying for the time being, but could be a very quick, interesting qualifying session. Just to put that out there, Stefano Marchetto then, what's he going to do? Is he going to be on the money? I don't know exactly race results from as I say, Suzuka, because they were at Suzuka 2 weeks ago. Probably in slightly Japanese monsoon weather. I'm not too sure exactly how that went, but as I say, it is going to be very close to find out. 6 minutes left then of qualifying. It is going to be probably a few laps, but we'll go on board with Stefano Marchetto. We'll go on board with the Italian driver. Close to, of course, Alex there. Alex has got to be careful with them rejoins. Could have easily dampened Stefano's lap there, but luckily at the moment it's not hampered him too much. There's a yellow flag somewhere on track, I'm not too sure where, but it's green flag running again. But 5.5 minutes left then of qualifying. So yeah, how is everyone doing? Let us know in the comments who you're rooting for, who do you think is going to win tonight. It's going to be a very weird, well, it's not going to be weird, but it's going to be a bit of a long hour and 15-minute race. It's one of these endurance races. I'll just double check why we wait for a time to come on the board, how things go. If you do leave me a comment, guys, I will read it as well. Race calendar, yeah, so after tonight we head obviously 2 weeks time to, of course, Bathurst Mount Panorama, the home of the Bathurst 2012 hour and the home of the Bathurst 1000. Stefano Marchetto actually is currently down second. We do have, of course, JMR with a 128.305 at the moment in the Ferrari. JMR looking forward to seeing what he can do. He's obviously trying to gel that Ferrari quite well, should I say, with the likes of Stefano Marchetto in the Bentley. He's only 1.050 of a second behind JMR doesn't have his wiper on for some reason. Maybe he's trying to just not focus, having the distraction of the wiper on his Ferrari at the moment. So he's currently on provisional pole position. Then you've got Daz Tintner up into third then in the Audi R8. He's obviously heading very well nicely around here with the Audi. Then you've got, of course, Peter in the other Bentley. So the two Bentleys thereabouts, and then you've got John. John's currently in pit lane, 5th fastest at the moment. Then you've got, of course, Chris Allen, aka Silverbeard, in the Ferrari, 6th fastest at the moment, with 3 minutes and 38 seconds left on the clock. And of course got Fred, and then you've got Yuri, Luke, JJ Motorsport, Lemos, and of course Alex, yet to set a time in qualifying, but hopefully tonight we don't get any issues like we did at Silverstone with the server crashing, which ultimately is a bit frustrating. But I think Silverstone's not going to be put to the end of the season, so they'll have one last run at Silverstone. I believe that was also going to be a wet and interesting race. I think, as you can tell by the rain at the moment, it's absolutely teaming it down. Yeah, at Spa-Francorchamps. I don't think many fans will be out braving the elements today, so it's going to be quite interesting to see what's going to happen. Just going to read a comment out that we do have. Just give me 1 second. Anders Halvorsen, I do apologise if I've completely messed up your name, mate. But he's saying go Fredster, so he's a Fredster fan, which is good to see. How you doing? Good to see you tuning into the stream. So yeah, it looks like at the moment though Luke's gone provisional pole position. Then missed that while we were focusing on the likes of Yuri, but Luke has gone fastest then with a 127.636 of a second, so that's quite interesting to see what Luke's going to do. I think Luke's trying to adapt with 2 minutes left of qualifying. Is he going to try and be the benchmark to see how well he does this evening? Because, you know, he's thereabouts. He's got JMR, so it's a Ferrari 1-2 at the moment, which seems to be very interesting indeed. So as I do say, we are actually in appalling conditions here at Spa-Francorchamps. Typical Spa weather as well for this time of year as well. With it being in the Ardennes forest, it's not very nice. If you look out the window in the commentary box, it is absolutely teeming down. It's thereabouts. But Dazza up into 4th then at the moment. Well, he's dropped down to 4th because Luke is on pole position at the moment. You've got just looking at Lemos, then he's going to obviously try and push on. He's been thereabouts. He's had a few race wins, but he's obviously now down in 12th place at the moment in qualifying, with just under a minute to go now in qualifying for what's potentially probably now round number 4 of the championship. It's technically meant to be round number 5, but it's actually round number 4 of the championship because of Silverstone race being abandoned. I think that's going to be run at the end of the season. I'm not too sure. I'm sure the guys will tell me. But yeah, it's great to be back in the commentary box as per usual. I feel like it's been a while since I commentated, but who knows. 27 seconds left then of qualifying, so it's going to be all or nothing now to get the lap times. I think Lemos actually has a clear track just about, because I think the likes of Stefano and of course, to try to work it out on the map, number 19, that's Alex, so I think they're going to be clearing the bus stop chicane and of course the source before he even gets there. So he's now got a couple of minutes qualifying. He's now over. I think Stefano Marchetto is another one that went into pit lane, so see what Lemos can do. Is he out there? Yes, he's there, but he's actually kind of slow at the moment in that lap time, which is a bit unfortunate for him. But where does that put him? It actually puts him 7th, so that's not too bad. That knocks John Knox down to 12th though. But at the moment then, it is all about this guy, Luke Barnard, aka the Press Squid. He is on a mission. He is on currently provisional pole position, so that might be something to look forward to. He's got a couple of minutes left. before he has to go into the race format. But a very interesting lap time from the Welshman then. Obviously on a mission. I think he's getting into the groove with this Ferrari now, so he's we'll see how well it does. But we've got the likes, of course, Alex up into 4th. That's a good lap time from the number 19 Ferrari. Then you got Chris Allen 5th, so that's not Daz Tinkner down to 6th. So, you know, Alex and of course Chris Allen both in Ferraris, 4th and 5th at the moment. So Ferraris seem to be sandwiching Stefano Marchetto at the moment. We've missed the likes of course, I can't remember who else drove the Ferraris, but it's been thereabouts. We are getting ready for, of course, 1 hour and 15 minutes of racing, where they'll be doing obviously a excuse me, a mandatory pit stop. But it's going to be very interesting to see exactly what's happened. I believe it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen. But I believe Fred's just put a comment in Norwegian. I have no idea what it means, but I'm not going to be nasty about that. We do cater for all. Someone's already asking in Discord, what time is the rain due to stop? I don't think it's going to stop. I think it's going to carry on. But looking at that, then JMR's gone pole. He went pole position. He went quick. So yeah, let's have a look at that qualifying. And qualifying does look like it was very interesting. JMR actually pipped Luke to pole position. I didn't realise that changed when we're looking at Luke as well. But JMR on pole position and followed by Luke Barnard, so it's going to be very interesting to see what they can do to Ferraris. And I think, to tell you what, looking at the likes of JMR and of course Luke, they're going to be on the money. But yes, it's going to be very interesting. Just give me 1 second. So we think people are saying, well, when's the rain going to stop? But they will have a formation lap, which will be thereabouts. But just looking at the back of the tail end of the grid, then, you know, just looking at the likes of course John and of course JJ Motorsport, they're going to be around at the back. But as I say, it's an hour and 15 minute race here at Spa-Francorchamps. We'll see how well it brings within the Thursday Night Racing League. It is actually technically round number 4. I put it down as round number 5, but that's probably because I was miles ahead. But obviously with the Silverstone race, it changed it around a bit, so I do apologise for that, ladies and gents. But I will obviously see what happens this evening for the next instalment. This is the PS4 lobby. The PS5 lobby will be here next week. I believe they're still looking for a commentator, so if you're on PS4, PlayStation 5 and you've got a Thursday night free and you want to do commentary, head over to the Discord link, send an invite if you're not on Discord, and the guys will accept you and say Hopper said you have to a commentator for the PS5 lobby, and
30 seconds.
They will gladly do that for you. I believe we're going to get a formation lap, which we probably will be. So the cars are lined up on the grid thereabouts, just coming off the jacks now. Hopefully no one leaves it late and decides to start from pit lane. It has happened before, but look at JMR, Luke, then you've got Stefano, then you've got Alex, then of course Chris Allen, and of course Daz Tinkner thereabouts. Then you've got of course Lemos, Yuri, Peter, and just trying to remember who else that was. I think that was Fred, I believe. But yes, going on for a formation lap now then. As you can see that JMR at the moment, James hasn't got his wiper on at the moment. Probably doesn't want it on because it might be a bit of a distraction. I think some of the guys will put the wipers on eventually, but looking for the formation, you can just see them going up through Radion and of course Rouge and Radion. It's not really a corner as Rouge, it's just like a sort of a bit of a corner and then it goes up towards Radion, but you can see how wet the track's got. The hardcore fans haven't got the umbrellas up, which is quite a weird one for these guys, but just looking what's going on, I think you know, these guys are getting ready for, excuse me, what will be a very interesting hour and 15 minutes of racing. But as I say, you got the likes of Stefano Marchetto. He starts third. He's done well here in the past. He's actually had a bit of a nasty shunt in, I think it was season 3, excuse me, he had round here in the Mercedes. Doesn't want me to remember that, probably, but I don't think the rain is actually gonna disappear. I think it's actually gonna be here for the duration. As you can see, the fans lining up the circuit on each of the banks. It's obviously going to be thereabouts, so I'd rather be in the walk for the commentary box than stood on circuit getting absolutely soaked and drenched with the conditions as they are. But just looking exactly at what the weather is. 2 minutes, obviously it's still heavy rain. 7 minutes heavy rain, so it is still going to be wet out there, so there will be on wet weather tyres. I believe McIvor is going to be missing tonight, which but it's going to be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen. But getting ready for then for the so we'll see exactly how close that's going to go, because not many people have probably raced around here in the wet. But you can just see the likes of JMR and of course Luke, followed by Stefano Marchetto. Stefano's in the gold Bentley, the #1 machine, because he is the reigning champion. As you can just see, Stefano's trying to line up Luke, trying to think, well, you know, it's going to be good to go. It's going to obviously look like the cars are going to get into formation. I think John Knox at the back, yeah, he's just about there. Good to see how the Ardennes Forest brings obviously a lot of wet weather variety at the moment. It's obviously this time of year with an hour and 15 minutes to go. Are we going to see the rain stop, or is it going to carry on? Is it going to throw up a spanner in the works tonight? Because I'll tell you what, you are looking at two of the top class races at the moment, the likes of JMR, Luke, and of course don't count out Stefano Marchetto though. But it's going to be very close to see what's going to happen as we get ready then to go through the bus stop chicane for what will be the green light as well as the green flag. The marshals may be happy, but they're just trying to bunch everyone up together. Is anyone going to stop the rot of Stefano Marchetto taking a win? I don't know exactly, as I say, what happened at Suzuka, but don't worry about that finish line there. They're not using that, they're using the other one around the La Source hairpin. It's going to be very close to see what's going to happen. Is it going to get dark at some point in this race as well? It seems to be quite a close action at the moment. You can just see them all warming up the tyres, getting brake temperature in. That's what they need. Let's see what's going to happen. We'll obviously go on board with a few drivers. You can see the marshal with the green flag there, just warning everyone, and is everyone into starters orders then? Are they going to get going? Or are they going to go for another formation lap? Maybe not, because you can hear the cars revving up, and I'll tell you what, I'm getting revved up myself, ready for round number 4 of the Thursday Night Racing League. And if you're new here, please do give us a like and please do subscribe, because it will help us out. I'll say what, we are good to go any moment now, and the race begins for round number 4 of the Thursday Night Racing League. Who gets to jump to... oh, there's already been a bit of contact. Who was that? Looks like Chris Allen's gone a bit backwards there. He's obviously had a bit of contact. That's not going to do his credentials. I tell you what, he's dropped right down to the back of the grid. You can just see exactly what's happening with the likes of J Mart. I think the timing screen may throw a bit of a wobbler in a minute as well. But Stefano Marchetto already trying to get past Luke Barnard for second place, which he does, going into, of course, Lecom. He's got thereabouts that. A Bentley is already on course for a bit of a topsy-turvy night. I think he's obviously trying to get past J Mart for literally first place at the moment. He's obviously now in a Ferrari sandwich. He's actually raced a Ferrari in season 2, so he's thereabouts. But I believe Chris Allen is at the back. Yes, he is. He's not going like that, I don't think. Obviously, unfortunately, the joys are bunching up. Who else has made a start? I think we've got the likes of Daz Tinkler there, obviously pushing on. Number 13, it looks like he's had a bit of body scars on his Audi. Maybe it was a bit of contact between him and, of course, Chris Allen at the start, but we'll see exactly what's going to happen with the likes of them guys. They may be in the steward's office after the race, but who knows. With the likes of Stefano Marchetto still under threat from, of course, Luke Barnard. We'll go on board with the Ferrari, the number 11 Ferrari. You can just see the spray being kicked up a bit. Luke's obviously trying to get past Stefano Marchetto, but we'll go on board with the number 11 Ferrari. Back down towards the end of the lap then. Seems a lot of rain still hanging about, but it's going to be very close to see what's going to happen. It's going through the final couple of turns. Oh, he gets a bit of fishtail. Is he aquaplaning it? No, he's not, but he's obviously thereabouts. But looking exactly how close the number 11 versus the number 1. So number 11 Ferrari versus the number 1 Bentley Continental GT. But about to tick off lap number 1. The pit lane is now open for the mandatory pit stop, so they will have to take that any time. Oh, looks like Pete's gone off there at the bus stop chicane. That was very close between the likes of John Knox and, of course, JJ Motorsport, but JJ's under pressure from John Knox at the moment. It looks like some of the conditions are catching some of the guys out as Chris Allen goes into pit lane. I think he's actually picked up a bit of damage as well. I think Fred's also been involved. Yes, he has. If you see the front of the McLaren, it's been a bit smashed up there. He's not going to like that as JMR then. James gets away from, of course, Stefano Marchetto at the moment. So we'll see how well it goes between these guys. Looks like the Ferrari's trying to get away from the Bentley at the moment, so it does look like there has been a bit of contact between the 3 cars. I think Pete's also gone into pit lane. I think, I've got no idea why. Maybe he's had a bit of an issue, but maybe that bit of a spin maybe did his credentials a bit good, unless he's had a bit of damage. I'm not too sure, but hard to tell what was happening at the front of well, during that incident, should I say. But you got Alex then trying to push on for what looks like he's still under pressure from, of course, Daz Tinkler. Daz in the Audi number 13, the unlucky Audi as I call it. Not sure why I call it that, but it's obviously because it's number 13. But he's trying to get past excuse me, Alex in the number 19 Ferrari. And of course Yuri's trying to latch onto the back of him, with the likes of Lemos trying to catch up as well. So there's a few cars in pit lane then, with quite a bit of damage there, which seems to be a bit unfortunate. And you've got of course JJ and of course John Knox there, still there. About a couple of cars are obviously going to be a few laps down now if they're not careful, because they're still in pit lane at the moment, which is a bit, it's still an hour and of course 10 minutes to go in this race. But Chris Allen is coming out of pit lane, I believe. Yes, he is. So he's got the green light from his pits to push on, so hopefully that doesn't hamper him too much, but he's got to be careful because he may be a lap down, because these guys will catch him up very quickly, because he will be having to escape out of pit lane. Let's have a look what's happening. Yes, he's managed to get out of pit lane before they even catch up. So the likes of Pete, Alex has gone into pit lane. Not too sure why. Maybe they've underfueled, maybe, or maybe they've burnt the tyres out too much. But you can just see the likes of James there trying to get away from Stefano Marchetto. Luke's still trying to push on. So there's a few cars that are still out. Fred's coming out of pit lane, so he's got to be very careful not to rejoin when these guys go up through Radion. But he's managed to keep out of harm's way at the moment. He is a lap down, unfortunately. So there's quite a few guys that are obviously made a pit very early. Not too sure why. Maybe the fuel's been undercut, but I believe, looking at that, we do have now one driver who's retired from the race. It looks like that is, of course, Captain Slope, aka Peter. Peter's now dropped out. Maybe he's had issues, or maybe the damage has been too severe for his Bentley, so that's not very good. He's obviously had probably too much damage in that Bentley, unless it's a mechanical fault. Not too sure exactly what's happening, but looking what's going on, the Ferrari of Luke Barnard trying to push up to Stefano Marchetto at the moment, with, of course, Daz Tinkner still there, and of course fourth at the moment with Yuri. Yuri's got a good showing at the moment in fifth place. Can he keep it together this time round? Had a bit of an issue at Silverstone, but he's obviously seems to be liking the Lamborghini. Wasn't too sure how it would handle in the wet. I think he's previously had a bit of issues, but he's managed to find a correct wet setup for his Lamborghini Huracan at the moment. Then you've got, of course, Lemos still there, and of course sixth place at the moment with, of course, JJ in the Lexus RCF, the number 23 Lexus RCF thereabouts. Then, of course, John Knox still 8th in the McLaren at the moment, with, of course, Alex in the Ferrari at the moment. Then, of course, got Chris Allen and, of course, Fred. I think these guys, even though they've done their mandatory, it still will have to be doing another one, because it probably hasn't counted, but we'll soon find out. But James at the moment eking that advantage away from, of course, Stefano Marchetto at the moment, with, of course, 1 hour and 7 minutes left, just about. But this is where it's going to get very close to see what's going to happen for this evening. There is a yellow flag somewhere, but I think it's been withdrawn, or is it? I think Daz Tinkner has gone round. Didn't see exactly what happened, but I think he's missed a few gears there to get started. So that's now dropped him. Probably down to 6th, I believe. Yes, it has. It's dropped him down to 6th. He's thereabouts. But Stefano Marchetto then, still on the back of that Ferrari. He's going board with the Bentley Continental. Just looking exactly how close it's going to get. But he's got a bit wide there. He's got over the curbs there. He's got to be careful. Track limits don't ping him. He's very lucky to get away with that. You can see how treacherous the conditions are, even still in this early stage, with these not even an hour left to go in this race yet. But you can see that's dropped Stefano Marchetto down a bit, but that's allowed Luke to catch up a bit. But got the likes of Lemos and, of course, Yuri battling for 4th and 5th now. See it absolutely teeming it down with rain. It's probably not the ideal conditions. I'd rather be in the comms box than actually out on track at the moment as well. But if you just join the stream, guys, welcome in. This is Thursday Night Racing League, and yes, if you're wondering, it is, of course, it is the regular first night commentator, and it is, of course, it is Hoppers. As you can see, Yuri's coming under threat from Lemos, the Porsche driver. They've got Fred ahead of them. They're going to be putting a lap on Fred. They've got to be careful that Fred doesn't hamper their positions. But just looking exactly how well this race is going at the moment. I think there's been a few issues, but not too sure what's happened to, of course, Peter, aka Captain Slow, in the Bentley. Whether he's had quite a lot of damage or some technical irregularities in his Bentley, but we'll soon find out as Lemos tries to get up to Yuri. But Yuri's actually putting a lap on, of course, Fred at the moment, as we head up towards the bust up chicane for the 4th time. I think it's actually the 4th time, maybe the 3rd time, with an hour and 5 minutes to go. So that's allowed Yuri to escape fair play to Yuri, the Dutchman, in the Lamborghini. The marshals are frantically waving the blue flags at the moment. Let's see what's happening for the top three then. Is this going to be a very close battle for the top three? Is James going to get away from Stefano Marchetto? Stefano's actually raced the Bentley in season 1, so he knows exactly how the car feels. It's flying over Radion there, literally trying to push on, you know. So he gets any closer, we'll go on board with him again, but looks like he is getting closer and closer to that Ferrari. The pink, green and black machine, the number 55 Ferrari, is obviously on board with the reigning champions. James gets a bit sideways out of the com, but he's obviously going to try and push on. You can see Luke in the rear view mirror there, just getting slowly smaller and smaller out of that vision, but seems to gain up as Stefano tries to gain up onto James as well, but Stefano's in a Ferrari sandwich at the moment. He's obviously going to try and push on. Look at him working very hard with that steering in the Bentley Continental GT. The number 1, the reigning champion. We'll put the helicam up and see exactly what's happening. I believe there's another car in pit lane. That is JJ in pit lane with the Lexus RCF. I don't know whether he's pitted or it counts as his pit. I think he's gone in, so that's dropped him down. Oh, as he clips the barrier, I think he's uncertain where to go, because obviously the barrier goes all the way up towards Radion there to try and push on, but we'll see exactly how close it's going to get. But going back to the top three then, going back to the top three battle. If any drivers you want to see, guys, we'll definitely get through them, but top three battle at the moment is the priority, because this is where it's going to get close between these guys. I think JJ's now gone back into pit lane. I think he's had a bit of an issue, whether he came out of pit lane straight away and then realised he's now back in pit lane, whether it's still there. Oh, Stefano Marchetto! Oh, he's spun! Oh, no way, he's aquaplaned. Didn't realise that. I would explain what was going on with JJ, but Stefano Marchetto, reigning champion, now dropped down to 3rd. He's not going to be liking that. He's going to be kicking himself. I don't know whether he just lost control. We'll find out if he stays third. If he stays third in this race, with an hour and 2 minutes to go, then we'll. If he stays third today in this race, we'll interview him. We'll see what happened. He may tell us. Be warned, there may be some fireworks. There may be some expletive language in Italian to his pit crew at the moment, probably explaining what went on. But he's currently still there at the moment with the likes of Luke trying to escape. Luke's actually escaped, gone into second then, so that's quite a good job for the Welshman. But could be very close to see what's going to happen. The Ferraris seem to be thereabouts now, but it's going to be between these two. I think it's going to be between James and of course Luke now, because Stefano Marchetto still suffering with that. He might have cooked them tyres slightly on the Bentley. Yeah, he's still 4th with the likes of Lemos right behind him. This is going to be a good battle for 4th and 5th. We'll go on board with the Porsche driver chasing down the Lamborghini driver. I think these two had a bit of an issue in Silverstone yesterday, but Lemos tries to get past number 5 Lamborghini Huracan, trying to do it. 24 Porsche though, the green, gold and black machine, trying to push on. I don't know whether it's gold or it's a bronze, but sure we'll be told. But Yuri holding on for dear life at the moment in that Lamborghini, with just coming up to an hour to go in this race. Then we'll see exactly how well that goes, but you can just see Lemos trying to get past that Lamborghini, the pink, green and black machine. I almost got confused when that car actually came onto the grid, because I thought it was Jamar's Ferrari, but they have the similar same colour, so it's very interesting to see what happens. I think Luke's still there at the moment in second. Yes, he is. He's got to try and push on, but Yuri still under pressure from, of course, Lemos at the moment, with Lemos' flashing light saying, come on mate, out the way. So we've got JJ Motorsport down in 11th for the moment. There's a few guys that are thereabouts as Yuri runs a bit wide there. Let's be careful. So we'll see exactly what's going to go on between these two. Still see the rain bouncing at the moment because it's actually still teaming it down with rain with an hour to go then in this race. It's absolutely been fantastic so far, so good between these guys. I'll tell you what, fair play to Lemos. He's still trying to get past Yuri. Yuri's not giving in. Oh, Yuri's a bit slow out of the source there. Lemos gives him a better tap. Oh, there's a bit of contact between the pair of them to come out of the source there. That is not going to be brilliant as Lemos goes up towards Radion. I don't know whether Yuri's actually damaged in that. Fighting for fourth as well, and I'll tell you what, it's come to a bit of a premature end. But we'll see exactly what's going to happen. Luke's still there, and of course, second place at the moment. We'll get the as we get the cameras set up correctly, because sometimes the cameras do throw a bit of wobbler. But you see JMR there trying to push away. Stefano Marchetto, he's not done well since the aquaplane and span. He's still third at the moment, probably trying to push on. I don't know whether he's got thereabouts, but just see Lemos there, and of course now fourth. I think Yuri's going to have a bit of words about that. I don't think he's going to be happy with that slight contact, whether Yuri's had a bit of an issue, but you can just see the bit of scars on the front of that Lamborghini where the paint's just traded just about. Daz Tinkner then still in, of course, 6th place at the moment in the Audi. I think he's another one that has had a bit of an issue. And you've got John Knox currently in 7th, then you've got Alex, then you've got Chris Allen, and of course Fred, and then JJ Motorsport in, of course, 8th, 9th and 10th and 11th. Sadly, we've lost Captain Slow, aka Peter. Not too sure exactly what happened to him, to be honest, which is a bit unfortunate. But that does look like the Bentley, it was terminal in the Bentley. I'm not too sure exactly what happened, but then you've got JMR still trying to escape from, of course, Luke at the moment. James is trying to push on for dear life, but you can just see how close it's going to get. Stefano Marchetto is around 7.093 of a second at the moment from the top two. Now he's probably going to be kicking himself. He's probably waiting for them to make a Mando to pit stop, and then he can catch back up, should I say. But it might not be thereabouts. So we've got the likes of Lemos and of course Yuri still about 4th and 5th. Daz Tinkner still there. He's put a lap on, of course, Fred at the moment. Fred's I think he's a lap down, maybe 2 laps down. 57 minutes remaining in this race then, so it's still a long way to go. Not even at the halfway stage yet. But we will be when it's thereabouts. But looking at John Knox then, coming through the source now. He's currently, and of course, 7th place at the moment, but he's doing very well to keep it going. He's not had a bit of an issue. I'm just going to double check that message actually. So yeah, John's currently there. Bit of a understeering moment, but looking at the top two then, top two are getting a bit closer again. Between the likes of James and of course Luke. Luke's trying to push on as best as he can to try and get up towards James at the moment, but we'll see how close it's going to get. 56 minutes remaining in this race then, with the rain still teaming it down. It's not stopped, and you can see on board it kind of looks a bit brighter, but don't feel like there's a lot of issues. But you can see the rain, some points of the track it throws it down, some points it doesn't, but maybe that's just how the race goes at the moment. But you can see Luke trying to catch up to James as best as he can going into the bus stop chicane. I think Stefano Marchetto is just trying to play it safe and waiting for them to make their compulsory pit stops and make it so he can get into the lead of the race. But he will not be liking it when he's spun out, I'll tell you that for next to now. but at the moment, as things stand, then I believe John's actually made a mistake there. I think John's actually leading the AM class. I'm not too sure. We'll try and figure it out. But top two is still battling then. So what's happening with Yuri? Yuri's dropped back from Lemos now. He's not having a brilliant time now. He's actually struggled. He's actually still 5th place though, given his due. So number 5 Lamborghini Huracan doing very well. Das Tintner goes into pit lane then, so he will be making a mandatory pit stop this time around. Maybe it's the right thing to do this time. We'll soon find out, but we'll keep an eye and make sure no one actually does a stop-go penalty or any infringements, but so far so good. There's not really been many warnings for track limits as of yet, but James is trying to get away from, of course, Luke at the moment, the number 55 Ferrari versus the number 11 Ferrari. It's very interesting to see how well this pans out, but could be very close to see what's going on. I'm just double checking something, but could be very close between the two Ferraris. But yeah, very close as you like between the two Ferraris at the moment. Looking what's going on then. So Lemos still there, and of course third at the well, Lemos is still 4th at the moment. Stefano 3rd. Yuri's actually still there in 5th with John Knox 6th now. Alex is probably still a lap down. 53 minutes remaining though. Then of course Das Tintner still in pit lane in 8th place. Then of course Chris Allen, and of course 9th at the moment. Could be 8th, I'm not too sure whether, unless he's a lap down. He probably is a lap down, with the likes of Fred in 10th, and then of course JJ Motorsport in 11th. But Luke and James are still going hammer and tong at the moment, literally between the pair of them. It could be very close to see what's going to happen. We'll go on board with Luke's Ferrari. Oh, getting a bit wide on track limits there in Radion, but you can see the spray bin kicks up a bit, but it's all or nothing between the two Ferraris at the moment. They're getting a bit closer as the track conditions still push on to make it a bit of a more exciting. But it could be easily do apologise about that, guys. Just trying to hydrate my voice. Obviously doing commentary, you know, you've got to keep hydrated, but looking at exactly what's going on then, Luke's trying to get past, or trying to get closer to JMR's Ferrari, the 55 versus 11. Look how hardcore these fans are, not even with an umbrella. I'll tell you what, it's trying some points and then it teams it down in another point. I think it's obviously trying to be a bit of a mixture between heavy and of course light rain, but to see exactly what's going on. So there's a few that now need to take a mandatory pit stop, but with 51 minutes, just come up to 51 minutes remaining in the race. It's obviously between the two Ferraris at the moment with the penalty of Stefano Marchetto. I'll give you a bit of a view of Stefano. He's obviously a bit, probably a bit infuriated about that spin heading up towards the bus stop a few laps ago, if you've just joined. But he had a bit of a nasty shunt in the Mercedes AMG here in season 3, and that was in the dark as well, and I think that kind of made him wary of his driving. But he's still thereabouts. He's still 3rd at the moment, so it could be very interesting to see what happens. Lemos still 4th at the moment, Yuri 5th. So Yuri's on course to do quite well, and he's adapting very well. I think the wet conditions have helped. I don't think the issues with Lemos helped, but John Knox still there and of course 6th at the moment. But what's happening for the top two? The top two haven't escaped each other. Luke's almost onto the back of the 55 Ferrari like a magnet, but we'll see exactly how well that's going to pan out. But who knows between these two? Excuse me. But yes, going into Le Mans, Luke's getting a bit closer. We'll go on board with Luke's Ferrari then, because he is getting very close now. As you can see how quick this is going to be, you can see how wet them curbs are. That's probably what caught Stefano out as well. So 10 laps in the book then. Not too sure how many laps we'll get, but just come up to 49 minutes remaining in round number 4 of the Thursday Night Racing League. It's going to be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen. I'm just keeping on Luke's Ferrari at the moment to see what he does. You can see the rain still bouncing on his windshield. He's not got the wiper on to set to overdrive, but it's getting very quicker towards his James' Ferrari. So both Ferraris are still 1-2 at the moment. Stefano Marchetto is still thereabouts. He's actually, I think there's a couple of lap cars ahead of these two as well. So these two have got to be careful when they're these two have got to be very careful when it comes to lapping the cars, because they don't want to get involved in there. Don't want to be involved in too many mistakes when it's lapping and the like. So I think it's trying to figure out who it is. I think it's Chris and yeah, one's Chris. Yeah, that's right. And I think the other one, it's almost like a Ferrari 1, 2, 3 at the moment, but it's not, because Chris Allen is well done, well deserved with the blue flags. But that means it could be a bit of interest. Yeah, the other one is of course Daz Tinkler, so Daz Tinkler is going to go a lap down. But you can just see the likes of Luke and of course JMR. Then the top two, will just focus on the top two for the time being, purely because that is going to be this closest battle at the moment. But looking what Luke's going to do then, is he going to get past the number 55 Ferrari and try and push on? We'll see exactly how close that's going to go. But still see how the weather is, still, the track's still wet, and it's also getting a bit worse out there. You can see the crowd are really put up with this weather. Maybe the hardcore Belgians at the moment trying to just say, yeah, we're used to it. But going back to, of course, Luke Barnard then, trying to push on. He's doing quite well, is Luke, as JMR gets a bit loose there. You can hear the rain actually as we go on board with Luke trying to push on. It's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen. People are thinking the rain's going to stop. I don't think it will. I think it's going to be like this for the majority of the race, so we'll soon find out. But you can see Luke working overdrive into the Ferrari at the moment. Got Daz Tinkler ahead of them, so we've got to be careful when they get close to him. But it'll be very interesting to see what's going to happen as Luke's Ferrari's getting a bit loose there. But you can see JMR, what we say, not on your life, Luke, not on your life, don't get past me. But Daz Tinkler goes a bit wide. He actually goes off track to let them two go past. But 46 minutes remaining then, come up towards the halfway stage of this race. Stefano Marchetto still there, and of course third place at the moment. He's doing well, the Italian. He's obviously not happy. He's probably not a happy bunny at the moment with that Bentley. I think he clipped the curb, and that's exactly what's spanning round. I think the AstroTurf spat him. But the top two are still nose to tail, then Luke's still thereabouts. Is he going to make his move this time round? Could be very interesting to see what he's going to do into the source. But see how close he's getting to that 55 Ferrari. But it's going to be very close then. as we're about to cross the line then to complete another lap. It's going to be very close between these two, so 45 minutes remaining then. That's 45 minutes to go in this race. Not even halfway of the race yet. It's going to be a bit of a weird one because it's still raining. But I think we've got we've not got a few battles. We've just got the likes of, I think Alex is still 6th, John Knox who's actually down in 7th. But he's doing a good job to literally push that McLaren where he wants it to be. And then you've got 2 Ferraris at the moment. We'll go to this battle with the Ferraris. The top 2, the race leaders. See how well that pans out. But looking what's going on then between the 2 Ferraris then, the number 11 and the 55 Ferrari. 44 minutes to go then, just under 44 minutes. Doesn't seem like the rain's gonna soon disappear, but it's gonna be interesting to see exactly how close that's gonna be. But looking how close that's going to go, I'll just see exactly. We've got a comment on stream, so I'll just double check that. Give me a second, I'll read into it. But let's have a look. I believe it's tyres on fuel, mate. I'm not too sure. It might be just fuel because with it being wet conditions. I'll find out. I think it might be just fuel though, because I think some of the wet tyres haven't got really. I'll have a look on the graphic. Yeah, there's no tyre wear, so it's probably just for fuel, mate. To be fair. So yeah, it's going to be very close to see what's going to happen. With the likes of the top 2 at the moment. Top 2, obviously, you know. I think what I'm going to say now, and I'm going to take a punt at the moment. Is you've got the likes of JMR and of course Luke at the moment. They're trying to push on. I think these 2 may be the ones that may spice up the race. If anything goes between these 2, I don't want anything bad to happen, but these 2 at the moment are battling for the race lead, so it could be between these 2. We'll see how that goes. Stefano Marchetto though, still 3rd at the moment. He's a long way behind. He's about 10.5 seconds behind Luke Barnard at the moment. I think he's having a bit of an issue. I don't know whether the Bentley or the Boatley as he calls it, because of the wet conditions. He's up to scratch at the moment, but we'll soon figure it out. But he's there. You've got Lemos still 4th then, with Yuri still 5th. I think Yuri's comfortably in 5th place at the moment, with the likes of Alex in 6th. John's still thereabouts, but the gap's coming down again between the top 2. The top 2, I must say I'm impressed with James and of course Luke's racing so far, because these 2 have pushed on quite a bit, and it's been impressive with around come to 41 minutes to go in the race. Not too sure exactly what happened to Peter, because he seemed to get, I don't know whether he got spun around or whether he just had a bit of an issue in the pits, and I think Bentley's had a bit of electrical issues. I'm not too sure, but excuse me, it'd be interesting to find out exactly what's happened with him for that. But with the likes of Luke and of course JMR at the moment, they're pushing on. They know exactly what to do. The gaps, it's grown a bit, but I think the likes of Luke's going to be all or nothing. But we'll soon figure it out. But the rain comes and then goes again. But it's very interesting to see what's going to happen this time round, because are these 2 going to be battling for the race lead? Where's Stefano Marchetto at the moment? He's coming up towards the bus stop chicane now. He's got a few cars that he's going to have to lap. He's obviously got a bit of a He's on 10.8 of a second from Luke Barnard at the moment, but looking what's going on, and the two Ferraris still almost nose to tail, but 40 minutes to go in this race then. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens, but and just see how close it's getting. But I'll still go on board with Luke then. So still battle with the top two. The top two were pushing on for quite a bit. Oh, Luke gets a bit crossed up there out of the com, and he's obviously trying to push a bit, try to push up to James's Ferrari, but he can't get there at the moment. It's going to be very close then. But still got mandatory pit stops for some to take, but still a bit of a way to go. Not even halfway through the race yet. Not even halfway. Probably be halfway in around a couple of minutes time, but I think it is down to who decides to go the longest. But maybe some cars are under fueled or over fueled in the race, or they had a bit of damage. But excuse me, coughing down everyone's ear. But we'll see exactly how close that's going to go. But top two at the moment are doing exceptionally well. Stefano Marchetto probably having a bit of a disaster at the moment. I don't think he's don't know whether he's going to be in that frame of mind, because he's thereabouts, and you know what Stefano's like when he gets in a racy mood. But at the moment he's got to try and push on. You've got the likes of John goes into pits. That's John Knox, but John will be thereabouts. Lemos is still fourth. Yuri's still fifth then. So John's now going into pit lane. I think it might be just for fuel. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens. But looking at the graphic at the moment then, as they put a lap on him, and he's just having a look. Is he gonna go into pit lane? Let's have a look at what's happening. Might be just fuel. So we're halfway through the race now then. Halfway of round number 4 of the Thursday Night Racing League. Excuse me. So halfway of round number 4 then of the season. I tell you what, so far so good. This battle between the likes of Luke and of course James, both Ferraris seem to be doing very well. I'll be interested to hear their thoughts after the race as well. You know, and I'll try and grab the guys if I can. But it's going to be thereabouts. And just see how close. Oh, Luke's made a mistake. No! Just as we were getting into a good battle, he's aquaplaned. Oh no, this is not good. This is not good for him. He's got. Oh, jeez. That's not good. I think some of the guys were disobeying the yellow flag there, and I'll tell you what, I think Luke's actually now badly damaged. That's not good, because that's now allowed Stefano Marchetto excuse me, to get into second place. That is the last thing we want. Poor old Luke's now down into third. He could be even be fourth if he's not careful. That is the last thing we want to see. But we'll soon find out what happens, because James still has now that comfortable lead of 13.4 of a second, so he's going to be thereabouts. I wonder what Luke's thinking right now. He's probably not happy. Looks to me the Ferrari's been a bit battered there. I think Chris has got to be careful. I don't think he meant to intentionally see that, and maybe he might have been unsighted, but let's go back into pit lane. He's probably picked up some damage there, so that's looking likely that the likes of the Ferrari battles come to a bit of an end. But it's very unfortunate then, with the likes of Lemos now going through bus stop chicane. That might push him up into third, which it probably is doing. I've gotta say, I feel sorry for the likes of Luke. Lost control, hit the barrier, and then it's not the first time that's happened either in Luke's racing career. He won't let him forget this, when he smashed into the barriers at the Hungaroring in the Porsche Super Cup a few seasons ago. But and he's also made a bit of a rookie error on the formation lap at Kyalami as well in one of the seasons, so that's put Lemos up into third then, with the likes of Stefano Marchetto now second. So Stefano will be having a bit of a retrieval, but 34 minutes to go in this race then, so could be very interesting to see what happens between these guys. But who knows exactly what's going to happen. Just give me 1 second, guys, while I plug my controller back in. But yes, it is going to be very close then. 33 seconds. 33 minutes rather, I do apologise, got way ahead of me. Yuri's in fourth then, so that's now put Luke's actually got some serious damage there. So he's in fifth place now. He's not going to like that. So 33 minutes to go in round number 4 of the championship. But who knows exactly what's going to happen. Daz are in, of course, 7th at the moment. John Knox still there, in, of course, 8th at the moment. Excuse me. With the likes of Fred in 9th, Chris Allen 10th, and then, of course, JJ Motorsport. With a bit more damage on the Lexus RCF now in 11th place at the moment, but very interesting to see what's going to happen, as James still leads the race then from Stefano Marchetto now, so Stefano's probably going to be a bit of a retrieval, because he probably thinks, oh, Luke went off, and that's pushed me to where I want to be at the moment, with the likes of course Lemos now there, he's gone into pit lane, so this could be very interesting. Yuri's also gone in, so third and fourth have gone into pit lane, so that may allow the likes of Alex and of course Luke to get probably back up to third and fourth, but it all depends on how quick these guys can get round. But excuse me, how close it's going to get. But you can just see how close it's going to be, because I think the likes of Alex is now going to push on. That could be third place for the number 19 Ferrari. We'll soon find out in a moment or two. But Stefano Marchetto then going through the back end of the circuit. Now you can just listen to that Bentley Continental GT rumble. So it's going to be very careful, and probably an easy run towards where he wants to be. So like I said, Lemos and of course Yuri still in pit lane, so that probably has now allowed Alex up into, of course, third. It may have done because of the lap times, but it all depends, because he was a lap down, but time screen hasn't updated as of yet though. So that's probably going to be thereabouts. No, yes, it has. So Yuri's coming out now. Where does that put Yuri? Puts Yuri, I think Yuri's actually now 4th. Or is he? No, he's not. Yes, he is 4th, because Lemos has just come out of pit lane. So Luke's just coming up through towards Erosion and Radion. So that still put him 6th at the moment. He's still 6th. So yes, Yuri is 4th with 30 minutes left of this race. Then Stefano Marchetto still in 2nd. So between the likes of JMR and Stefano, they're now 2nd and 1st and 2nd. But could be an interesting fight towards the end. These two need to obviously make their mandatory pit stop. I think it's just for fuel, so we could be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen with the likes of Yuri. Good showing from Yuri in 4th place. So we'll soon find out what's going to happen. So if you're around after the race, guys, I will try and interview the top 3 if I can, as well as the M-Class winner. Just to have a bit of their thoughts of the race, and we'll try and include a few talking points, or maybe a few interesting curve questions, should we say, because I think sometimes they get put on the spot with me, and I'm try and make it as best as I can. But looking at JMR, then hasn't got his wiper on. He's probably got see what it's like on board with his Ferrari. It's hardly any spots of rain on his windshield, so he's probably thinking, well, I've got a clean track, don't need to worry about that. Stefano Marchetto still has his wipers on in the Bentley. Probably quite happy now he's back up to 2nd. He's probably laughed when Luke went off and spun out, but I don't think he probably laughed when Luke got collected though. So that's probably going to be addressed with the stewards, but that all depends on if the drivers like to take it to the steward's room. But as I say, I'll have nothing to do with the steward, so I have no idea what will happen. You got, of course, Alex in 3rd at the moment, doing a stellar job to regain up into 3rd then, after a few issues thereabouts. Yuri, oh, he's gone off, oh, just as we joined and flicked through. Tried to flip through the grid and he's dropped back a bit. That's allowed the likes of Lemos to catch him up. So that's going to be very interesting, because that will change. There is a comment on stream. Let's give us 1 second. I'll just see what that is. It's obviously bots, or that's it, which isn't good. But we'll see exactly what's going to happen. But between the likes of Yuri and, of course, Lemos at the moment, battling for 4th and 5th respectively. But we'll soon find out exactly how close that's going to get. But Lemos tries to go on that line. You've got the likes of James catching him up to put a lap, or there's contact between the pair of them. That is not very... It did look very tense. There is a yellow flag still thereabouts, but that's going to be pushing on quite a bit as Lemos has got to get going again. Has Yuri got going? Yes, he has, but he's not going to like that. He's probably going to be like, well, that's how many times you've took me out. So Yuri's still in 4th place then. He's thereabouts, but no, he's not, because Luke's now 4th, I beg your pardon. Luke's now got back up to 4th, because Yuri's now dropped down to 5th. Yuri's not going to like that. He was on course for a good result. Around just under 26 minutes to go in this race. So it's going to be very close to see exactly how quick that's going to pan out, but could be a slower car on track somewhere. We've got the white flag somehow. Let's try to figure out who that was, but There's a white flag still somewhere. I'm not too sure who that's for though, because there's a slower vehicle somewhere. But Stefano Marchetto then still second place at the moment. Trying to push on. So we'll try and figure out, with 25 minutes to go then, could be very close to see exactly how close it's going to get, with the likes of JMR still leading the race then. He's thereabouts, but anything can happen. Could be very close to see what's going to happen. So JMR still leading them from Stefano Marchetto. Alex still in, of course, third at the moment. He's obviously done quite well to get where he is at the moment, with the likes of Luke back up into fourth then, so Luke's thereabouts. To see how close that's going to get. Maybe if Alex makes a mistake, he could get into the top three again, but I don't highly doubt it with around 24 minutes to go in this race. Excuse me. But who knows what's going to happen. We've got the likes of Alex trying to push on at the moment. He's obviously going to be thereabouts. I'm not too sure what happened to Pete, because nothing's been mentioned at the moment. But still got Alex there in third place at the moment. Then you've got obviously Lemos, who's now fifth, with the likes of Yuri now sixth. I'm not too sure what really has happened between them two. I don't think Yuri's going to be best pleased though either. So he's going to try and push on for sixth place now. He was on course for fourth place, and I do really feel sorry for him at the moment. With the likes of Daz Tintner in, of course, seventh at the moment, with the likes of John Knox, of course, in eighth at the moment, with the likes of Chris Allen in ninth. Then you've got Fred, and then of course you've got JJ Motorsport in, of course, 11th at the moment. There was 12 drivers, but as I say, we did have a bit of an issue. Not too sure why the white flags are out at the moment. Maybe because there's a slow car. I'm not too sure which car's going slow, unless it's Fred's McLaren. It could be, but we'll see what happens. JMR still leading then. 22 minutes to go. With the likes of Stefano Marchetto still in second place then. So it's going to be a fun end to the race, because I think the top two were going to be thereabouts still, but we'll see what's going to happen. Alex still there, and of course third at the moment. I think he's going to try and push on. He's got a bit of a gap from, of course, Luke at the moment, so that could be a very interesting turn of events for the excuse me, number 19 Ferrari. So it could be very close to see what happens. Then you've got of course Lemos still there, and of course fifth at the moment, with Yuri sixth. That's Tintnet in, of course, seventh. Then you've got John Knox still there in eighth place at the moment, with the likes of Chris Holland in, of course, ninth at the moment. Then you've got Fred, and then of course JJ Motorsport thereabouts. But could be very interesting to see how that pans out, because there's quite a few cars now that are a couple of laps down, which has been trying to push on for quite some time, but looking exactly how close that's going to be. But we could be in for quite some interesting laps, but looking exactly what's happening as JMR actually goes into pit lane. So if you are liking the stream, guys, please do give it a massive thumbs up. It will help me with the stream. I do apologise if you see any bot chats popping up in chat. Please don't do anything with that. It's unfortunately YouTube does get bots and they do comment stuff which is highly inappropriate. So Stefano Marchetto then goes into P1, so he'll be happy with that after a bit of a aquaplaning moment. Whether he's got thereabouts is another thing. So what's going to happen is Luke going to be able to get into the top 3, or is he going to have to settle for 4th? Could be very interesting as James goes into pit lane. He stops it in his box. He's going to have to be very careful. Stefano Marchetto still leads the race then with, of course, 19 minutes to go in this race. So it's all or nothing now. It's all to play for. Stop go penalty though for JJ for corner cutting. He's got 10 seconds. Stop go penalty. Track limits getting abused. That's not what he wants on his debut for Thursday Night Racing League. But Stefano Marchetto then reigning champion in the race lead then. We've got James currently in, of course, second. You've got Alex still there in the third at the moment. Luke 4th. Lemos in 5th. Then Yuri still 6th at the moment. Das Tintner 7th. Chris Allen, and of course now 8th. John Knox in 9th. Fred in, of course, 10th. And then obviously JJ having a bit of an issue with that Lexus RCF. He's picked up a lot more damage and is anticipating not sort of driving we want to see, but whether he's aquaplaned, I don't know. But looking at the front of that Lexus RCF, it seems better days. He has got a 10-second stop-go penalty. He's got to be careful as well, because he's got Das Tintner putting a lap on him. With 18 minutes to go then, Stefano Marchetto, is he going to go into pit lane? No, he stays out for another lap. So he's obviously playing the cards right. But this is exactly how things go, you know. 18 minutes left, the 4th round of the championship then. And it seems it's been a very good, entertaining race, but who knows exactly what's going to happen. I think Alex has picked up a slight bit of damage in that Ferrari, so that could be very interesting to see what's going to happen. I think the likes of JJ there, just looking at the front of that Lexus RCF, is he going to go into pit lane or is he going to stay out? But it's looking a bit battle scarred, it's looking a bit damaged, it's looking a bit worse for wear. He's going to go into pit lane, but he will have to do a 10-second stop-go penalty. Whether that will be served during his pit stop, I don't know exactly. Don't know exactly what he's doing at the moment. He's got issues. He's definitely got issues there. And he's crashed again. He's not even put the pit lane limiter on either. So that's not really good for a seasoned debutant. So it looks like Stefano Marchetto still leads the race then, with Alex just trying to push on. Don't know what JJ's actually trying to do. He's actually wrecked his car even more in the process, which is going to be very much more damage limitation. You look at that Lexus RCF, it looks very bad. It looks like it's been a playground scrap. It has been on track, but I don't know whether he's let the anger get the better of him. I'm not too sure. But it's come to 16 minutes now. Not really much battles in the race. It seems it, doesn't it? It seems like he's either having issues in the pit, or it's just having a bit of a glitch. I'm not too sure. I've never seen that before. Lemos is thereabouts in 5th place at the moment with the likes of Yuri Still holding on for dear life. He's got Daz Tinkner chasing him down though for, of course, 6th place at the moment, so this could be another battle that we could see, but it's going to be very interesting to see how close that's going to go, but for 6th and 7th, both Audi powered engines, so they're both kind of equally matched, but all down to the setup. So Yuri holds on for 6th place at the moment, but it looks like the likes of JJ's really struggling. I don't know whether he's had the car repaired or not. He's picked up some more damage, but unless he's just having issues, but it's not the best at the moment. He's got that he's now got a 30-second stop-go penalty. Maybe that's also for speeding in the pit lane as well. So that will be interesting. But oh, Yuri's gone off. Oh, mate. Oh, I feel sorry for Yuri. He was doing so well tonight as well. Don't know exactly what's going on at the moment with the likes of these cars that are having damage, but we'll see exactly what's going to happen. Stefano Marchetto still in the lead of the race then, 14 minutes to go. So all or nothing. JMR still there in, of course, 2nd place at the moment. Alex, of course, in 3rd at the moment. It's very interesting to see what's going to happen with the likes of Luke still 4th. Yuri's gone into pit lane, so I think he's got a lot of damage. He's going to be kicking himself with that, I'll tell you that for next to now. JJ's still there. Look at the damage of that Lexus RCF. Looks like it's been in a scrap more than it is on track, but whether he's had a bit of issues tonight, unless he's had issues with his wheel, I don't really know. Oh, I don't know exactly what's going on. But JJ's there. I think Daz Tinkner was trying to overtake him and put a lap on him, but it seemed to me something was going on a bit weird. But JMR's still there. Alex still 4th at the moment with the likes of Luke still, Alex 3rd rather, not 4th. Luke's 4th, beg your pardon, with the likes of Lemos. Oh, Fred's just appeared in front of him. 12.5 minutes to go then in this race. Going to be very close to see exactly what that's going to bring. With the likes of Yuri still in pit lane then. With the likes of Chris Holden now 8th. Could be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen. But John Knox still there, of course. 9th at the moment. Fred is there. Not too sure what's happening with JJ at the moment. He is currently coming towards the back end of the circuit. Still got a lot of bad damage on that Lexus RCF at the moment. That's going to hamper him quite. He's going to go into pit lane again, but it's a bit of a shame really, because for a driver that's new to the league, you know, have to be very careful now. I don't know whether he's doing his stop-go penalty or he's clearing that damage, but Yuri's still in pit lane with that damage then. It's obviously quite a bit of damage, extensive damage on the number 5 Lamborghini Huracan with 11 minutes to go. We're just going to keep an eye on certain drivers at the moment. I'll tell you what, there's not really much of battles brewing because some of the cars are in pit lane and some are laps down and that, so that kind of gets thereabouts. But whether JJ's got so much damage on that Lexus RCF, it's having seems to be tracking quite a lot, and the steering's wobbling quite a bit as well. Excuse me. So Yuri down in 10th now. Bit of a upsetting evening for Yuri, I think. But we'll soon figure out what's going on. I think the likes of JJ is going to be in pit lane. Whether he's going to have to sort out his damage, but he still has a 30-second stop-go penalty, so he's going to have to take that. Stefano Marchetto, though, however, race leader, staying out as long as he wants at the moment. This could be very interesting for the reigning champion as well as race leader at the moment. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen for the likes of JJ at the moment. So stop go penalty now has cleared, so he's took his stop go penalty, but looking at the car, it looks like it's still badly damaged, so that's probably going to be dropping him down quite a bit. But be interested with 9 minutes, just come up to 9 minutes to go in this race. But Stefano Marchetto then on course to get a race win if he pushes on. But who knows what's going to happen. But yes, I'll be back in a minute. Do apologise about that, ladies and gents, but yes, with around 8 minutes to go in this race, then Stefano Marchetto still leads the race then from the likes of JMR and of course Alex and of course Luke. Luke's done very well to get back up into fourth after a bit of a moment, but we'll see how he does for the rest of the 8 minutes. And of course you've got Lemos, then you've got Daz Tintner, and then you've got Chris Allen, and of course John Knox, of course Fred, and then of course Yuri now unfortunately 3 laps down in 10th. Then of course you've got JJ in of course 11th at the moment. But looking what's going on then, Stefano Marchetto may be pushing on for quite some time just to get there. He's obviously trying to push on for dear life. He will have to take his mandatory pit stop though. There is yellow flags somewhere. Is that Luke? Yeah, Luke's gone off at up towards the Camel Straight there, so he's not doing well to get onto the podium, but nevertheless it's something that we may figure out later on in the next couple of races. But looking at conditions, the conditions have slightly got a bit worse again, but just see how quick it's going for these guys. It is actually quite interesting to see what Stefano's going to do, because he's got 7 minutes to go and it's like 2 minutes 20 something a lap. So what's he done so far? I can't really tell his fastest lap at the moment, but the AM class at the moment then is obviously of course John Knox, so be very interested to see what happens. Stefano's last best lap time was 2 minute 28.6, I beg your pardon. With his last lap was a 209.004, so probably be interesting to see what Stefano can do. You know, he's going to obviously be in delight. We'll get him in the comms box after this race. I think JJ's now gone into pit lane to try and repair some of that damage of the Lexus. It looks like the front bit is going to be thereabouts, but the back end looked a bit worse for wear. But he's obviously gone and hit the barrier again. Whether he's steering lock on his wheel or something isn't the best at the moment, but could be very interesting to see what's going to happen. But Stefano now jumps into pit lane then. we'll see what that's going to bring, because is that going to be allowing JMR to into first place, or is it going to bring, could do, but it's all down to the last 5 minutes of the race now. So Stefano Marchetto, you know what he's like, he plays the game. But we'll see what happens with that. But who knows? Stefano Marchetto goes into pit lane then, because he's got a long way to go. It's quite a weird pit lane here at Spa-Francorchamps, because sometimes you have the pit lane here, but then you have the other one going halfway around the lap. So it's a bit of a weird combination. Is this going to allow JMR to get back into the race lead? Because Stefano's still in pit lane. But who knows? But that's allowed JMR back into the race lead, I think. As Stefano is coming up pit lane. So we'll see what he does. The Italian, is he going to get his foot down? He's got to around 4 minutes. Looks like JJ's got more damage again on that Lexus RCF, but nevertheless we won't count him out. But I think JMR actually gets back into race lead. Yes, he does, with around 3 minutes and 42 seconds left. So we'll see exactly how well that brings into the race. But you can see exactly how well it's going to turn out. You know, I've got to say, this race is actually, it's been okay. It's not been problems, but I think we've had a few issues, but I think that's part of the conditions. But 3 minutes to go then. In this race, JMR could be on for his first race win of the season. Not too sure if it's his first race win, but we'll soon find out. We'll get him and, of course, Stefano Marchetto into the comms box after the race, if we can. But we'll soon find out their thoughts. I'll try and get Alex in as well if I can, and then we'll try and, I think it is John Knox that is the M-Class winner, in as well. So we'll try and get 4 drivers in if we can. But we'll soon find out. With 2.5 minutes to go then in this race, it is obviously, it could be going on to the final lap now, because it will be thereabouts. But I'll tell you what, guys, TNRL never fails to disappoint me. I'll tell you this now. So if you are new around here and you want to join for the PS4 lobby or the PS5 lobby, I think both lobbies are technically still looking for drivers. I'm not too sure, but if you go onto the Discord, send an invite and tell them Hopper sent you across, would love to have you. So we'll see what happens then with JMR onto the final lap then. He's looking very racy. He's looked very racy from the outset this evening. Bit of a battle with, of course, Luke Barnard to start with. And obviously they had the likes of Stefano Marchetto chasing them down, but then of course when Stefano actually span, as JJ still in pit lane with that damaged Lexus RCF. Stefano is now there. You've got Alex in 3rd, Luke 4th, Lemos in, of course, 5th, Daz Tintner 6th, Chris Allen, of course, in 7th, John down in 8th. Good showing for John tonight, with the likes of Fred in 9th. Then you've got Yuri in, of course, 10th. Yuri's had a bit of a shocker tonight. I feel sorry for Yuri because he was doing very well as well. And of course JJ in, of course, 11th at the moment. But looking at, of course, Jameson, he's looked very racy to do where he is at the moment, to actually do very well. He actually got pole position. Yeah, he got pole position from Luke, and now he's leading the race, so he's actually done quite well to get back into the lead of the race. I thought Stefano Marchetto would have escaped up the road, but then looks like Stefano's had to settle for, of course, 2nd place. But we'll find out exactly what happened when he aquaplaned. But we'll get some of the guys into into the comms box after the race, but could be all or nothing between these guys. But JMR coming through the last half of the lap now, trying to probably put a lap on Yuri. Poor old Yuri, not had a decent race tonight, but I'm sure his time will come. He was actually doing quite well to be in fourth. Now that JMR now comes through the last two turns, now he's come up towards the bus stop chicane. He will be delighted to win at round number 4 of Thursday Night Racing League in appalling conditions here at Spa-Francorchamps. But the number 55 Ferrari so we'll see exactly what's going to happen with that. But JMR then comes through to win the race then, so congratulations to JMR. I'll get him in the comms box in a moment or two. You've got the likes of Stefano Marchetto also coming through the bus stop chicane, so we'll see exactly what's going to happen with that. But we'll soon find out how close that's going to get. Stefano will be second. Just going to make sure everyone finishes first, and then I'll get the guys into the comms box. But we'll soon figure it out. But Alex comes through then. So we'll see how well that's going to go. Alex is there. Luke is currently still fourth, so fair play to Luke to come back into fourth. I thought he was actually going to get onto the podium at one point. Then he got Lemos. Bit of contact with Yuri. But we'll see exactly what's going to happen with Lemos there. You've got Tazza there in, of course, fifth. Then you've got Chris Allen. Then you've got, of course, John there currently. I think John's actually the M-Class winner, so that might be but we'll see what happens in a minute. I'm just going to make sure the guys, all the guys actually finish, so then I can get the guys into the comms box. But yes, I'm going to get the guys in, so I don't know whether he's on here.
Hello. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2
Yeah, I'm trying to get Thingy in the chat, but I can't get him in. Can't get Race Winner in. No, I can't. I haven't added him on there. Get him to join. I can't do it. There we go. Brilliant. Oh.
Congrats, mate.
Oh, it's concentrating so hard, man.
Mate, that was epic.
Yeah, you did the perfect race.
My God.
Now you know what it takes to win a race like that.
I did a mama finally.
Yeah, finally.
Finally.
Should be first in the championship now.
Oh, I hope so.
That was epic, I must admit.
Yeah, that's difficult.
In them conditions as well. But fair play to you, mate.
Thank you, man. Oh,
It is one of them. I'd rather be in the comms box than out on track, I must admit. But yeah. So guys, tell us about your race. I'm interested, I'm intrigued.
okay. So I got pole, which I was sort of surprised at.
Yeah.
Just pit Luke pole. It's my first pole position, so I was really happy with that.
Yeah.
And then sort of just had to cover Luke off into turn one because I feared he would have gone up the inside, and yeah, so I was just trying to break a gap from Mama and Luke behind. So yeah, and luckily you guys made a mistake, so I was able to run away a bit.
Yeah. But obviously, yeah, I think it was the aquaplane. You know, there's a few issues tonight that I've seen, and okay, it's part of it, but it's part of the race as well. And at the end of the day, you got. I was quite surprised that the race was changing lead when you guys were pitting, or you know, whatever. At one point, I thought Luke was going to catch you, James, and I thought this could be on. And then,
So did I.
and I was like, he's going to catch you. Then when Stefano binned it, I was like, no, this is the last thing he wants. He's going to be cursing in Italian to the team and saying what's going on. And then
I did.
Hang on, give us a sec. I need to get the AM class winner in. The problem is I'm not friends with many people on here, which is a bit annoying. I'll see if I can get him in. Yeah. Somehow then came back, and then he tried to come back on, and it hit into, I think Chris had kind of took him out a bit. It's one of them, I think when you try and come back on track, it's one of them. Right, I'm just going to add Mr. Knox into the chat, because he wants to have a chat, so then we'll get onto it. You were too busy partying, mate, with Peroni and stuff like that.
Yes, I was supporting Luke on doing some battles with James. So I was hoping I was just hoping for some mistakes, and
yeah.
Luke did a mistake. We did a mistake. Sorry for him. Sorry, not sorry, because I was second and I was on the beach in second place.
Well, I'm glad you were relaxed, because I was the opposite of that completely.
I was completely relaxed. I was going. Yeah, I was just hoping for a mistake of yours, but I was there.
It never came.
Yeah.
Because I started the race with the full tank, then I added just a liter. And yes, I mean the car was really tricky to control, really, in every corner. It was really tough with the Bentley on the wheel.
Yeah.
But anyways, brought home a second place. Kinda happy. I was happier 2 weeks ago, but this is still a result. Happy.
I wonder if John's here. I did add him. He's probably.
Hello?
Hello, mate.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Hey guys, yeah.
Good
Hear you
man.
loud and clear.
Good man. I believe you were the M-Class winner.
I actually don't know either. I didn't
Doesn't
think
matter, because
I was
I'll add
all
you
the way
in
around,
anyway.
but-
I'll add a few people in. I
Take
wanna,
it, don't complain.
yeah.
But yeah, that was quality. I really, yeah, I didn't think it'd go as well for me as it did, to be honest.
Yeah, good drive, man. Well done.
Yeah.
Well, I have a big apology to make to Alex, because I took him out at one point while he was in third. I don't know if he would have got any closer, but
I think
there
it's
were
one
more
of them.
yellow flags in that race than any other.
I think the thing
Oh,
is,
yeah.
the thing is, guys, from what I've seen, right? Okay, I've been commentating for months on end. Sometimes it's messy, but then it's hard to tell, because with conditions as it is, you know, it's difficult to slow down as enough, isn't it? So
yeah. No, it was a good race. I had a good battle with JJ for a while, and then he just span out at one point. So
he span out, and then he caused a lot of damage to his car, and then he got a stop-go penalty, and I was like, oh, here we go.
Oh, I felt sorry for him, yeah.
I felt really sorry for him when I had to lap him about 3 times as well.
That's the thing, isn't it?
Just saw the car more broken than the last time I saw it.
Yeah, it was like it was front end was smashed in, rear end was smashed. I was like, oh, here we go. It's like, what's he doing?
One of those races.
I suppose it's one of them when you've got a stop go penalty and you think, oh well, I've got to take that, and then it's going to be affecting, etc. But yeah, any other thoughts, guys? What you reckon? What's going to happen at Bathurst, or?
Oh, that's going to be an interesting one. Who can predict that?
Me. I'll predict it. But yeah, it's I think it's going to be carnage, and I think it's going to be a lot more trickier than we think.
Yeah, pressure's off a little bit for me now, though. I think I'm leading the championship now, so
yeah,
that's nice.
Well, it's nice and it should be good. I should be there, hopefully.
Yeah,
Touch
James,
wood.
you're like, stop the count.
Yeah. No
Stop
more
the race
races.
now. Just get the checkered flag out now. I want to just when I'm in front. Yeah. Well, no, fair play to you guys. You've done really well tonight, and I'm quite proud of how well tonight's gone for you guys. To be fair.
Yeah, cheers, man. Thanks for the comms as always.
Yeah, it's not easy, but we've proved a
You do
point.
a better job
Michigan.
than all of us.
Yeah, fair enough, mate. It's nice. It's nice to have words like that as well. It means a lot,
Yeah,
you guys seem to you guys seem to enjoy it. You seem to enjoy watching yourselves back, and then when I'm probably laughing or trying to. The thing is, I've got when I've got battles, or if there's no battles, I've got to flick through everyone. I give everyone airtime, as you know, and it's better than if there's a battle, then you concentrate on the battle. But when there isn't, then everyone gets a mention, stuff like that. And I do try and spice it up quite a bit, you know. But
yeah, you're doing a great job, man.
Good.
It's really bringing the season alive. So
yeah,
definitely.
love it. Love it. Right, if you guys want to go, then you can, because I'm gonna head off because I'm at work in the morning.
Thank you, man.
Alright,
On
guys.
to Bathurst.
Yes,
Yeah,
on to
Bathurst
Bathurst.
in 2 weeks.
I'll get you
Lovely.
guys in. I'll get you guys in again at the end if I come. You know.
Awesome.
I'll try and get
Hopefully,
you.
I'm not in a barrier.
If you're in the barrier, you don't want to talk to me, then I understand that one. I do say to people, it's up to you guys if you want to enter the commentators box after the race. You don't have to attend; it's not mandatory. But I'd like to have a bit of a chat with you guys afterwards. But yes, all right then. I'll see you in a bit.
All right,
Yeah.
cheers, guys.
See ya.
See you in a
Cheers.
bit.
Ciao,
See
ciao.
ya.
Ta-da.
Bye.
Oh. Oh. So guys, bit of thoughts between Momolotto, of course, John, and of course race winner James. Join us in 2 weeks' time if you're still here. If you're not, don't worry. Join us in 2 weeks' time where we go to Bathurst, Mount Panorama, when we go to Australia. Is it going to rain? Is it going to be hot? Or is it going to be dark? Who knows? It'll be the unknown territory. And I'll tell you what, be sure to check us out, Thursday Night Racing League. And I've been Hoppers. Take care, have a good weekend, and most of all, I'll see you in 2 weeks at Bathurst. And hopefully the weather's even better. Take care. Ta-ra.